Hello my dear fashion lovers, I'm really happy to have you here today as we take a look at the Tom Ford Fall-Winter 2026 show in Paris. This season is led by Haider Ackermann, and you'll see how he takes the core codes of Tom Ford and reshapes them with a lot of precision, while keeping that constant tension between control and sensuality. Right from the first looks, you immediately notice a shift in atmosphere. The light feels much harsher, more direct, and it gives the show a sharper, more intense edge. The black and white opening pushes that even further. You see these double-breasted suits for men, extremely clean, with strong shoulders and a subtly defined waist. I think this opening feels very powerful, almost cold, but everything is perfectly controlled. Very quickly, you start to see the women's silhouettes with these low-rise trousers. What really stands out here is the way the belts feel slightly loose, almost like they've slipped naturally. It reveals the line of the hips, but always with restraint. You'll also notice the animal patterns coming in, breaking that strict structure, and adding a more instinctive energy to the silhouettes. Then the show moves into something more daring with the introduction of transparent materials. You'll see cropped blazers, trench coats, and babushka-style scarves reimagined in clear synthetic fabrics. What I like here is how very classic pieces suddenly feel more experimental. Under some of the translucent skirts, you catch glimpses of lace and logo stockings, creating this interesting tension between what's visible and what's usually hidden. I think this approach stays quite subtle because it's not trying too hard to provoke. Then denim comes in as a strong evolution. You'll notice it's worked in darker tones, sometimes with intentionally crinkled textures. The women's looks move between something more fluid and others that feel more structured. On the men's side, the waistlines go higher, which really elongates the silhouette. And with the pastel shirts and striped ties, you can feel that business influence, but reworked with a more relaxed attitude. That contrast works really well. Throughout the show, tailoring stays at the center. You'll see fine pinstripes and micro-pattern suits worn with shirts unbuttoned quite low, sometimes down to the navel. There's always this tension between structure and sensuality, between discipline and ease. What I find interesting is that nothing feels fixed, everything stays in motion. You'll also notice the way the models move. They're not just walking, they really embody the clothes. Sometimes it feels very confident, other times more relaxed, almost slightly ironic, and that gives the whole show a much stronger presence. Towards the end, the evening looks become more minimal. Black slip dresses with thin straps bring a more direct kind of elegance. On the menswear side, silk scarves replace shirts under jackets, and low-rise trousers come back with a confident attitude. Overall, what really works here is the precision of the cuts, the consistency of the collection, and that constant dialogue between discipline and sensuality. You might feel that some looks go in slightly different directions with several ideas happening at once, but it also shows a real desire to explore. In the end, you're looking at a collection where Haider Ackermann continues to shape a clear direction at Tom Ford, with a really interesting balance between control, freedom, and boldness. I'll let you enjoy the show. Enjoy watching and feel free to share in the comments what stood out to you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for being here, take care, stay inspired, and see you very soon.